he has to read it, because that means he didn't play it in the first 2 games. The only outs I'm seeing, it's O-Ring, and that's it.
And he has 2 copies of Oblivion Ring, so very possible that he's going to be able to deal with this Chandra, but...
It's possible. No, there's no way he brought in Celestial Purge. Even though it's a mono red deck, there are no red permanents in Ryan's deck.
And here it is, Oblivion Ring.
And Oblivion Ring for Chandra the Firebrand. Now, that's a little unfortunate, but you know what that does mean?
It means there's not an Oblivion Ring for a Stuffy Doll.
Yeah, that's right. So we've got a Torpor Orb in hand for Ryan Hipp. That's going to shut down Sun Titans.
Yeah, I don't know about that. I mean, you really want all your cards to do something, right?
Well, I think that Torpor Orb is a fine card for this matchup. If he let's see why he wants that. It's just to shut off the Sun Titan, because he can just always take care of the Sun Titan, right?
Yeah, but he can take care of a whole chain of Sun Titans just as easily as he can take care of one.
That's fair.
So
and
it's,
here is our hero.
Is just as 6/6 will just beat him. He's a red deck.
This is our hero, Mr. Doll, Mr. Stuffy Doll.
I've used a card to turn your card that's very good against me into a card that's just pretty good against me. But a Liliana of the Veil.
Oh, it's Shapeshifter on Cavern. So he brought in Phyrexian Metamorphs. Interesting.
That is very interesting.
Yeah. He must have seen the Sun Titans and been like, you know what? I want some of those.
And a deadweight, so...
Oh, is that a deadweight?
Yeah, and I mean, Joseph even has the Liliana in hand, so...
But no second black.
Yeah.
Shrine of Burning Rage for Ryan.
A little late on that,
Negate.
A negate. Jeez. Joseph Lee can have a really strong hand this game. Really reactive, exactly what you want against a red deck like this. There's only so many cards that you need to deal with.
We're gonna
flashing back Lingering Souls.
Yep. And now that Joseph's done that, Ryan can reasonably cast the Slagstorm that he has in hand, if he so chooses.
And I imagine he'll do that.
I do not see a Dissipate or Negate in Joe's hand. There's the Slagstorm. Passing it back. Now, who's got the better long game here?
I think it's got to be the Solar Flare deck, because as long as he has cards in his hand that he can use to deal with that Stuffy Doll, then he's going to be fine.
Here's another Chandra.
Chandra could be good, though. Chandra can do a lot of damage.
Because there's one O-Ring left in Joe's hand. And that's it. Those appear to be Whip Flares or Smelts in Ryan's hand. What do you think?
I think it's more likely that they're Whip Flares, but... oh, no, they might be the Incinerate. What is it?
The Volt Charges? He's not running. He's not running Incinerate. He's not running Searing Spear.
Oh, they must be Smelts. They must be Smelts.
They're either Smelts or Whip Flares. I couldn't really tell from the art. There's a Ratchet Bomb for Ryan.
Oh, nice. The Ratchet Bomb can get up to 3.
Ah, they're Smelts. I just saw them. Yeah, the Ratchet Bomb can... Well, he doesn't want the Ratchet Bomb to get up to 3. There's a Sun Titan.
See, and this is what I was talking about. Is, Sun Titan, it doesn't have anything to return. Anyway. And now Ryan's gonna need to... He's gonna need to do a lot to deal with the Sun Titan anyway.
Well, not that much. I mean, he can copy the next spell he plays and then Harvest Pyre it, because he has Harvest Pyre in hand. So he can deal 6 to this Sun Titan. Or he can Metamorph, which also seems quite reasonable.
Yeah, I mean, he can Metamorph it, but the problem is that the Metamorph would have been able to return Shrine of Burning Rage, but his own Torpor Orb stopped it.
Yeah.
Like, the Torpor Orb has just been terrible this game. Like, it actually has hurt him more than it has helped him.
Oof, Doomblade. Not great for Ryan. 3 in the graveyard. 6 counters on Chandra, but 6 power for Sun Titan means that this guy's probably going to rumble in and take down the Firebrand. And now pushing that Ratchet Bomb up to O-Ring range makes more sense. Image and image. All right, well, quite reasonable that turn. This is going to be rough.
I mean, a Slag Storm's no.
Well,
no.
a Blasphemous Act will do it.
So when those enter the battlefield, don't they?
Do they trigger? They can, I believe, but he didn't have anything in the graveyard except for a Deadweight.
Well, but I was saying that they can't because of Torpor, right? And
Right.
don't they have to copy something when they enter the battlefield?
It's an as opposed to a win. So as
it's not a
triggers,
trigger.
same
Okay,
with
it's
Stuffy Doll.
Okay.
Stuffy Doll is an as. So he can still target with the Stuffy Doll, and the Phantasmal Images and Clones can still do their thing as well. So Ryan does not have the Blasphemous Act. It looks like he has 2 Harvest Pyres.
Yeah, and I mean, if that Torpor Orb had been anything else, he probably would have won. Like, if it had been a Slag Storm, he definitely would win. If it had been... And he has all these Smelts that are dead cards in his hand, too.
Yeah.
Like, Smelts don't do
It's
anything.
confusing to me why
opponent.
he would bring that in, actually. I'm not really seeing a reason for Smelt.
There's nothing.
There's literally Batterskull and Nile Spellbomb, neither of which are good reasons to bring in Smelt.
You know?
Spellskite, which he possibly saw, I guess. Still not a good reason to bring in Smelt. Smelt's obviously in the sideboard for Sword of War and Peace, and maybe Runechanter's Play. That's it. So we're going to Harvest Pyre without removing anything to take down a Phantasmal Image. Then we're going to do that again. Oh, no, we're going to remove 6 to take down the real one. That Ratchet Bomb has 2 counters on it. There's Harvest Pyre for you. He removed 6 cards as an additional cost to deal 6 damage to target creature, the real Sun Titan. And the first one removed 0, but targeted the Phantasmal Image.
Now, I mean, he's going to need to be able to target this Phantasmal Image right away, or, again, he's in a terrible spot. I mean, I believe Ryan's got to be at 10, right? Oh, okay. Yeah, the Burial Rites.
So the one of Burial Rites was in his hand.
How is he at 16?
I don't know.
There's no way that's life total.
So this Ratchet Bomb's at 3 now, so he can get back a Chandra if he so chooses. I'm not sure if it'll do any good, though.
I mean, he has to get back to Chandra, or he's dead on board.
He may be dead anyway, because of the dead Smelts in his hand.
Yeah, I mean, he's probably going to lose anyway, but he basically mulliganed to like 3 this game because of the way he mulliganed. So it's going to be almost impossible for him to. Yeah, he just had so many dead cards. And this is one of the problems that happens a lot of the time when players playing unique decks make it deep into a tournament, is that they end up playing against something that they're unfamiliar with and siding in a ton of cards.
Yeah.
And when you're unfamiliar with your opponent's deck, it's much better to not sideboard things than it is to sideboard a whole bunch of stuff.
Absolutely.
Because if you sideboard in like 8 cards, your deck is much worse than it once was.
Yep, and that's it.
That's it.
So Joseph Behrens takes down our hero, the mono-red Stuffy Doll player, Ryan Hipp.
Yeah. And Joseph Behrens, we see him pretty psyched. X1 coming in the last round. And again, for those of you just joining us,